Welcome to 49ers Now, presented by Toyota. 8 quarters down, 4 to go in the 2026 preseason as the Niners clean up on the Chargers last night at SoFi Stadium, 41-17. You see JLC, Jennifer Lee Chan, our 49ers reporter here at NBC Sports Bay Area. My brother from another mother, Rob Brooks, here in NBC Sports Bay Area. I am Bonta Hill. JLC, you were down at SoFi Stadium in Southern California. Joint practice on Tuesday between the Niners and Chargers. A little chirping going on after the fact, but who cares? It's just a practice. But yesterday, another step in the right direction for some 49er rookies, Dejon Stribling and Kaelon Black. Let's start with number 15, a wide receiver who's catching almost everything, except for that one play where it was a touchdown, but another sparkling start for Dejon Stribling. He looks the part, JLC.
Man, that one he missed would have, as Brock Purdy said, put him in the 49ers Hall of Fame as a rookie. That deep pass from Mac Jones down the left side, had his hands on it. But Kyle Shanahan spoke about it afterwards. It just, it was a tough catch and pass. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But overall, Dejon Stribling has just shown that he belongs, and he's made contesting catches. Everybody's already talking about whether he is third and Dejon, because he has been catching those third down conversions. He has been, running around and running great routes. He's got speed. He is doing everything necessary. He still, though, is very humble. Speaking to him after the game, he said, "Hey, I'm just learning to take my coaching points. This is not the final product. I've still got to do the work." And he's incredibly humble. And I know Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, the entire locker room really appreciates his fortitude, also his diligence in studying the playbook.
Rod, what you think? Dejon Stribling, start number 2 in the preseason.
The things that we've seen in training camp practice have now, in 2 consecutive games, albeit preseason games, they've translated to actual game conditions. And, of course, there's a lot to love about Dejon Stribling, but here's what I like, is that the Niners are lining him up everywhere you can line a wide receiver, and Stribling is making catches from all of those places. So he had 4 catches on those 5 targets last night. His first catch, he was at the right boundary, makes a reception. His second catch, he was the second receiver on the left side. That was for a first down. His third catch, he was the left boundary receiver. That goes for a first down. That fourth catch, he was in the slot after some movement, and that was that big throw from Mac Jones where he threw it to where he knew Stribling was going to be. Stribling was there for a first down. So clearly we can all see the physical attributes and his ability to get his hands out and catch the ball. But we are definitely starting to see that Kyle Shanahan knows he has a receiver in Stribling that he can line up anywhere on the field, and you're going to get production from him. That's invaluable.
In JLC, he's separating, which the Niners didn't have on the outside last season. Ricky Pearsall could do some of that stuff, but we know he was hurt with the PCL injury. It was never right past the midway point last season in 2025. Dejon Stribling gives the Niners something they didn't have all last season. Basically, a guy who can separate off the line of scrimmage and get deep down the field. You see the 13 targets so far through the preseason, 11 catches, 109 yards. One of the drops, it was a tough catch. Curtis Rourke threw it. It was in the double coverage, I should say. Had to go behind him. Yesterday's drop, of course, would have gone for a touchdown. This is what Kyle Shanahan had to say about that drop yesterday at SoFi Stadium.
I mean, that's his strength, is his hands. It was one that Mac let go really early. When you call a double move down there, you get that ball up and down, and Mac threw it about as early as you can. So I don't think he picked it up until it was about 3 yards away from him, which makes it a real tough catch. And but he's got the ability to do it, so he needs to come down with that one.
You really praised his blocking during the draft process. Are you seeing that as sort of like a high floor for him right now, or how has he been in that?
I think he's getting better at it. He's got the mentality to do it. He's smart enough to do it. He's committed to do it. He's got the size to do it. But it's now about putting him in all those situations, because it's not just about blocking corners. You got to be on defensive ends at times, linebackers. And I don't know how he did today in that aspect. He's been getting better in practice, but fully expecting to be good when the season gets here.
JLC, the drop he talked about, was a tough catch right there, something you pointed out there. But as I was mentioning before that sound from Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the 49ers, his ability to separate, the fact that he was open deep down the field gives the Niners another dynamic within this explosive offense.
Absolutely. I mean, that was really something that was lacking last year. Last year, it was Christian McCaffrey, was the entire 49ers offense. This year, they're going to have Dejon Stribling, Mike Evans, potentially Christian Kirk when he gets healthy. Jordan Watkins is another young guy that's really shown some potential. But having those wide receivers is going to stretch the field. It's going to make defenses have to play honest against them, which is what they didn't have last year. They loaded the box. Christian McCaffrey had less yards per carry, and it wasn't his fault. It wasn't the offensive line's fault. It was the fact that they didn't have wide receivers to really stretch the field. Yes, they had Kendrick Bourne, they had Demarcus Robinson, who's taken a huge leap this year. But now, I mean, with multiple targets for Brock Purdy out there, I think it's really going to change how they're approached. And I think it's going to open a lot of underneath stuffs. And that also, Kaelon Black is another guy who's going to take advantage of that.
And, the thing about it, everybody getting excited about the idea of the Niners going deep downfield is obviously intriguing, something they couldn't do last year. But I'm intrigued, you mentioned JLC, when things get condensed, what about the red zone? I think about Stribling in the red zone. I think about Debo in the red zone. Obviously, Mike Evans on one side, George Kittle when he comes back on the other. What do you do with the Christian McCaffrey problem? The Niners are going to have red zone answers that they did not have when they were tested in the red zone last year. And Stribling and possibly Kaelon Black, who we'll get to, I think will be a big part of that.
Let's stick on Kaelon Black because, Rod, you pointed out something yesterday on Twitter that I don't think the casual fan could see. Look, whenever he carries the football, he falls forward. He doesn't go backwards. He goes forward. He's a load, right? Runs a 4.4. This young man was not even invited to the NFL Combine. It looks like a miss by 29 other NFL teams, Rod. But you pointed out something with this pass blocking, which if he can do that, if he could pick up blitzes in the pass game, you could spell McCaffrey a lot more this season, as the Niners do want to limit some of the tussles of Christian McCaffrey.
And listen, the Niners have been desirous to have a number two back behind McCaffrey that they could trust, not just in running the ball, but protecting the most important player on the field, and that is whoever is playing quarterback, and especially when we're talking about Brock Purdy. Kaelon Black sticking his nose in a lane that he had to stick his nose into on the first down reception by Dejon Stribling. If Black does not get into that lane and pick up that blitzer, Brock Purdy does not have the time, in essence, the vision to get that pass to Dejon Stribling. I immediately noticed it, and it just goes into the type of running back that Kaelon Black is showing and what he looks like he's going to turn out to be. He's a tough customer all the way around. He looks the part and he acts the part. He puts his foot in the ground and he goes. One guy is not going to get him down. He's going to take other people with him. If he could give you something in the pass game to go along with his running ability and his ability to get in there and protect in third down situations, the dream of being able to spell Christian McCaffrey and the drop-off not be that great is finally going to come true for Kyle Shanahan.
You know who else noticed the blitz pickups? It was Brock Purdy. I asked him about it after the game, what he's felt like with Kaelon Black in there, and he's like, hey, the fact that he is picking up those blitzes, and you saw it. I mean, if you don't even have to watch the all 11, all 22. You can watch just the regular broadcast, and you see him blocking guys that are look like they're almost twice his size. I mean, they're not twice his size because he's very sturdy and he's very muscular, but much taller than him. So the fact that he can pick up those blitz coverages, and then also, like you said, he keeps his legs churning. He told me he really enjoys that second effort. I mean, his longest run was 9 yards. Some of them were a little bit shorter than that, but the fact that he keeps his legs churning, that second effort gets him more yards. It's different than what we've seen from a lot of different young running backs, but the fact that he does both of those things, I'm sure makes him very valuable to Kyle Shanahan.
Especially in that red zone where Christian McCaffrey needs a blow. This guy has a nose for the football. We saw it all season long at Indiana, especially in the college football playoff when he ran over Alabama, ran over Oregon, and, of course, the Miami Hurricanes in the national championship. Here's what Kyle Shanahan had to say about that backup running back position.
I was real happy with him. Seeing him for his first practice there on Tuesday versus the Chargers, you could see it a little bit, and I thought nothing changed today. He ran real physical. Would love to keep him in there a little bit longer, but with it being his second day back, and we were smart with him, and I think pretty sure he got out healthy, and they'll give him a chance to have 4 good days this week.
Speak on the running back room. Since your McCormick, what did you see from him today, and what are things that you liked?
I thought his run was great. You know, it was blocked well, but then he's the one who finished it. We hadn't had an explosive run like that to go the distance in a while. I was happy with all the guys ran today, though. It was a big day for him.